Ladies and gentlemen, this is Internet Personality Vangelus, and we are here with some casual Cyberverse. This is Airachnid. Her deluxe toy kinda sucks, and someday I should actually explain why I feel that way, but her Cyberverse toy is pretty cool, except for mine, because no matter how many times I glued it, this thing broke off while I had her in a Tupperware box coming back from the Americas, and this snapped off, and I glued it, it was fine, then it fell off, and I glued it, it was fine, then it fell off. What a bummer. On the bright side, Cyberverse toys are cheap, so I just got another one. So let's pop this open. We're going to do this a little bit backwards than usual. We're going to start from the robot mode, because they package these things in robot mode. Once you get her all situated into robot mode proper and stick her things on her back, then her arm falls off. That's not a good start. Oh, come on, Airachnid. Don't do this to me. Well, I don't really. In Japan, she's the boy hunter, and I find that amusing, but that's about as far as it'll go for now. So Airachnid, she looks pretty good in robot mode, and the colors are spot on, the proportions are better than the deluxe. She actually looks like a formed bipedal robot who's also a lady. Her head sculpt, I think, is actually pretty good. The paint apps on it are, for this scale, pretty choice. Same for the stuff on her arms and on her knees and her shoes. It just brings her to life a little bit. As far as Poseability goes, she's got them ball-jointed shoulders. Apparently one of them's a little bit hinky and wants to come loose a lot of the time, but maybe the other one will play nice. Nope! Well, maybe I should just switch this propeller onto the nicer Airachnid I have over here. Oh, we'll deal with that later. But she's also got ball-jointed hips with a nice big socket to allow for a whole bunch of almost thigh swivel-like Poseability. But aside from having a ball joint on her shoulders and a ball joint on her hips, that is it for Airachnid's Poseability suite. As far as a Legends toy, or I guess a Cyberverse Legion toy goes, it's not bad. She can high kick, she can, well, usually, she can point and aim her neurotoxin bow, and, you know, ace fools that way. She's also got these quote-unquote spider arms, which are basically these kind of weird-looking helicopter blades that would love it if you'd believe they were spider arms. There's actually a Shapeways kit to give her proper spider arms. I might want to pick that up sometime, but, you know, the effect is okay at a glance, because she's got things behind her, and that's fine, but I wouldn't go around trying to tell people to really seriously go, like, no, seriously, man, these are spider arms. Anyway, transforming Airachnid, it's a bit more impressive, actually, going from helicopter to robot, but you still can see the effect of the, basically the way that her body goes from this kind of, you know, full robot body, and then sucks back into a very slim helicopter that you probably saw earlier on anyway, if you were eagle-eyed and looking at what was up. It's a little bit of a tricky thing, because you gotta stuff a lot of parts together, and sometimes, especially on a fresh one apparently, those parts don't always want to do what they're supposed to do immediately. They need to be coaxed, they need to be bribed, they need to be shown instructional videos. But the crux of it is, you gotta close up these upper panels over top of her arms, all while swiveling this thing around and finishing up the main look of the copter. And boom, there we go. Once they actually get going, it all kind of just clips together. There's like a very specific alignment of panels, but then you get this super slim helicopter, which looks and feels fantastic. This is great. I love the shape of this thing. I love how, from all angles, it looks pretty good. Like down here, most of her body's hidden, so it ain't bad. And this thing spins. It spins a whole lot. And I don't know if you notice, it also, you know, comes at it. Uses the Cyberverse peg. This means you could, if you want, like stick it down here, so it looks like it's super dumb. You can also attach this helicopter thing to all kinds of other vehicles if you want to, but I'm all about the purity of the experience. Gotta leave my helicopter alone. Also, my other Cyberverse toys are in a box over there. Alright, fine! Demands, demands, demands. Here, look, here. Are you happy? Look, it's a lopsided helicopter van. I bet you're real... Yeah, well... Anyway, her weapon can mount anywhere you want, where there is a port. So you can stick it under here for some properly symmetrical action, or if you want to get a little asymmetrical, you can stick it over here. Well, actually sticking it over here is not a good idea, because then it's going to get in the way of that action, but I just think this thing looks silly and unwieldy on her helicopter mode, which is kind of, at times, something that I really like to look at. You know, big, silly, unwieldy things. This helicopter just flying around, waiting to drop on people and cut them in half. But Airachnid is, in my opinion, a very good Cyberverse toy. If you're someone who's actually collecting Cyberverse toys, like if you have that weird little bug in the back of your mind that makes you go, you know what, these are okay, then Airachnid is a must-have. If you're someone who doesn't really enjoy Cyberverse toys, well, she's not going to change your mind whatsoever. Although, if you do want the best figure of Airachnid on the market, as of currently, January 12, 2014, this is the best figure of Airachnid on the market, unfortunately. Oh, I say unfortunately, she looks fine. I mean, I even left out something. Her knees can bend very slightly, but that gives her a bit of a leg up over a lot of Cyberverse toys. So, check her out. She's worth your time, in my opinion, if you're already on board for buying tiny, cheap versions of characters. She's got the best Cyberverse female suite going on in all of the Beast Hunter Cyberverse releases thus far, and that's quite an accomplishment. So anyway, this has been Internet Personality Vangelus and Cyberverse. Casual Cyberverse, as it were. I feel like there's something left I still need to finish up from last year, but I'm not sure how casual that can be. I've got to go to the drawing board and think about this. I gotta put on a suit jacket but leave my pants off to be all half casual.